Let's talk about this. So I saw a video of The Rock, and The Rock was saying that I lost 60 pounds, I lost all of my muscle. He says he takes his career serious, and that for his acting career, that's really why he lost the muscle. He doesn't want to do just action movies, but he wants to, improve as an actor. Now, he also mentioned the sickness that he has. Now, his movie that he just did, word is that the movie flopped. Okay, they're saying the first weekend, the numbers were down, it was terrible, it was blah, blah, blah. A lot of times, people just turn on a person when it's like, okay, they're down, let's kick them. Because when you've been on top so long, that's what happens a lot of times. But I don't know. The movie might be. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I'm not really interested in the movie. I know who the fighter they're portraying in the movie, but I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it one day. Maybe I won't. Okay. I learned some things about the Von Erich family. Now, you never know when you do like documentary style movies, autobiographies, whatever. It's like they change a lot of things. I didn't know that Kerry Von Erich had 1 foot. That he had it. I didn't even know that. So, it was some things that I learned from that movie. I said, okay, cool. And it was one of those type of movies where it's like, damn, like just who's next? What's gonna happen next? Now every movie has its criticism. I feel like the guy that played Kerry was definitely way too small, and Kerry was the biggest out of all the Von Erichs. But just little things. It's not looking for something to complain about, but little things like that. But I didn't think The Iron Claw was a bad movie at all. But yeah, I did learn some things about the movie. Okay. This could be the end of The Rock as far as his popularity and his fame goes, man. Because let's be real too, and think about this. For the WWE, they've always depended on bringing out these veteran wrestlers. A saggy, no muscle Rock is not gonna get attention. Nobody really. It'll be like, really Rock. You know what I mean? So as far as using him to come out in the future to do anything in the wrestling ring, other than just talk, I don't like to assume things and start, using imagination. I don't know if The Rock now, and I say that because I'm saying I don't know if what The Rock is saying could be 100% true. It could be some falsehood in that. I don't know. People like Joe Rogan and all the people have always been for the longest saying he's on the juice and saying he's lying. He doesn't get up super early in the morning and do this and do that and whatever, and that he was, basically lying to people. I don't know that. Okay, but this is what I am saying. It could be also that The Rock is, because of his sickness, he physically cannot handle, like, the action sequences and stuff. And maybe he's just not built for that anymore. Who knows? I don't know. He could have been on the juice. I don't know. But, and I'm saying because people love to say things and then stick to it. And it's like they're not even getting it from anywhere. They're just assuming. So I'm not making this video to assume that he was juicing or whatever. But like I said, I'm not defending that he was or wasn't. I don't know what he was doing. But the one thing that got my attention is, now although I haven't seen the movie, The Rock said that his next role is him playing a 70-year-old man whose best friend is a chicken. That definitely doesn't get my attention at all. It reminds me of when Arnold Schwarzenegger, was it Kindergarten Cop or something like that, or Twins, like you used to see him do movies like The Terminator, Commando, and him and Stallone doing all these different movies, but Stallone really stuck with the more action hero style. When Schwarzenegger started to do this cross, do different things, and I'm not saying you don't have the right to, But a lot of times people get used to seeing you a certain way that they can't adjust. Like, it could be another actor or actress doing the same movie, and they might accept it more than when you do it. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like, to watch him, and he didn't do what The Rock did and lose all his muscle and all that. But like, when he started doing like the little silly movies and stuff like that, the funny stuff, it wasn't received the same way. And the thing with The Rock is, at his age especially, one of the things that overwhelmed people was like, yo, this dude's still jacked, he still got it, he still, so to see him now shriveled up and playing like old man roles, I mean, I'm saying, even if he has a strong supporting cast, I don't know. I just don't see people gravitating towards this stuff, because it's like, what is what exactly, like, what roles are you going to play? I mean, if he's about to enter that realm of the elderly type movies, you know what I'm saying, where he's going to be doing these movies where he's not doing much of anything, just those movies where the elders watch and there's nothing really going on, nothing really going on in the movies, just boring type of stuff. Who knows? It's his career, it's his decision. But I feel like this is going to be a situation for him where he's definitely not looked at the same way, for sure. I mean, definitely. And when he's not looked at the same way, people lose interest. So does The Rock snap back into it and say, if he's fine physically like he says, if he said he lost it for the movie, he said for his career, not just one movie, for his career. So he's saying it as if he has no plans. Like he said, whether I have no muscles or not, I'm still the same person. So it sounds like he has no plans on, getting jacked again. And that part is where I can really understand people going, all right, this makes no sense. If you didn't now, if he said I had to lose the muscle for medical reasons or something like that, maybe that's what he was trying to not say. But whatever. If he just did it on his own, it's kind of a head scratcher, because you're like, why? So you're gonna just play old man movies, like what? It just doesn't. It just doesn't. It just feels weird. Let's just say it like that. So if he has no problem, right, physically, other than the sickness, but he's losing the muscle by choice, and he's really being honest about he's doing it for his career. I mean, he'll find out if it was a good move or not for his career or not. But I don't know. I can't speak as him, and I don't like to say what I would do and what I wouldn't do. I will say though, if what he's saying is true, I still would have to be him to really feel it, because I just don't see the point. Like, I'm gonna lose everything. I'm gonna for what? So working out gets you healthy. It keeps you healthy. So. I mean, what? I don't know. That part is what gets me like, okay. I'm not sitting here now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not scratching my head about it. But I know people listen to things, they hear the news, and they want to comment, and they start, giving their input on what they think it may be and may not be. But I'll just say, as far as The Rock goes, this could be really the end of The Rock as we knew him. I don't see how it can't be, because I really don't see, especially after his last movie bombed, it gets to the point where the type of movies that people have gotten to know you for, once you're not producing that anymore, because and his look is what stood out. He always made these little inspirational videos in the mornings and stuff like that, and every time he did a movie, the movie goes #1 and stuff like that, and he would, hey, I thank you guys for making that movie the #1 movie, and blah blah blah. And he got his clothing brand out, his workout gear and all this kind of stuff. And then so all of a sudden, the guy goes skinny, and he's playing old men that's befriending chickens and shit. You know what I mean? It just feels like, okay. I mean, especially when you get older, doctors recommend that you exercise. I've never heard a doctor say, I mean, hey, you can't exercise no more and work out. It's gonna cause you to, be unalive. Like, if anything, it's the opposite. You need to start to exercise, work out more. He doesn't look like he just lost weight, but he's toned up and cut. He just looks frail. You know what I'm saying? So if your acting career means that much to you that you want to focus on just having verbal dialogue, that means to me that physically something's not right. So we know if you're doing this, it has to be something to do with the sickness, the illness. Like it just doesn't make sense to me that somebody's just gonna lose all their muscle. What the fuck? The muscle, does that keep you from acting? Well, no, but it doesn't play the part. You don't have jacked old men, older guys that go out here and I'm just saying, like, it just makes no sense to me, man. None whatsoever. But it is what it is. But I think that The Rock is done in terms of like this big star that he was. And I mean, if anything, it'll be more like people remember him for what he's done. But yeah, I think this is not a good move for The Rock. And I believe that's why he's pleading in the video, even saying, even though without all my muscle and stuff, like I'm still the same person, and like, please come with me on this journey. And yeah, he's asking for that support still, but you have to deliver, man. And you know how people are as well on top of that. But the movie that he did, I didn't see it, so I can't say anything about what the movie's like, but I did, see the reviews about the movie. And then two, the way Raw and SmackDown is, his presence won't be the same. His presence won't be the same. And that's the one thing. You take all the other people like in his age group that when they come out, or any other legend that comes out and they get involved in something, going on in the ring, it becomes one of these things where, like, most of them, they look like old men. You understand what I mean? But out of respect, the respect that people have for what they accomplished, they'll cheer. And, the thing is, The Rock stood out all the time because he still looked jacked and all that. You see what I mean? Like, he still, like, he can go. So imagine The Rock looking the way he does now, coming out and getting involved and getting physical. Like, people are gonna be like, oh, come on, man, get this old man out of here, because that's what he looks like now. And his face aged like quickly. Like his, that's the one thing, even though physically he's jacked, his face looks older than 53. Like, he looks way older than 53 in the face. I don't know if he just aged that way or if that's part of the sickness. I don't know. Everybody doesn't age well. But he basically is in a position now of the timing with, okay, you're doing your last movie didn't do so well. Raw, SmackDown, NXT suck right now and have been sucky. This is a new era, and this is the new version of what the WWE is. And the timing just seemed like it couldn't be any worse for The Rock to go through this transformation situation. So now for him, what does this do for him going forward? I don't know, man. But I really don't see this version of The Rock having any real impact on anybody. It's like, he did what he did, but now this is who he is. And I don't say, I mean, when you watch Shaw and Hobbs, any of the Fast and Furious stuff, or any of the movies that he's done, any of them, he's always been that guy. Like, like he still had that presence, but now won't be the same thing. So his life, his decision. But I think that The Rock is, he's been reduced down to a pebble now. He's not even a brick. He's just a pebble now, man. Like when I look at him, it just, and I know when I look at him, it just feel like pow, overnight. Like, wow, what happened to him? So yeah, and I don't see his normal audience is probably more than likely not going to really be so interested in what he's doing. So if the last movie he didn't work, imagine what he's doing now, befriending chickens and shit. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Catch you guys on the next video.